It's 17 till. Joining us now on the Sunrise Morning Show is William Roberts. He's a Government Relations Associate for In Defense of Christians. William, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me back on.
It is good to have you back. And IDC has been working on an initiative to help Iraqi Christians. Can you give us an overview to start us off?
Certainly. Yes, thank you for asking. So in 2003, there were approximately 1.5 million Christians living in Iraq. They belong to a wider variety of different faiths and groups, but you can broadly refer to them as Syriac, Assyrian, Chaldeans. These are the indigenous people of Iraq. They've been there worshiping, their variety of faiths for quite some time, longer than anyone else, certainly. And in light of the territorial defeat of ISIS, there still remained only 150,000 or so living in Iraq, and they're largely living in diaspora. Although certainly many lives were lost as well during ISIS's reign of terror, and they remain unable to return home due to various pressures and constraints in living in Iraq.
And so, what is the key to being able to actually rebuild those communities?
Well, these communities need to feel like they're able to authentically experience their own culture and be free of any undue pressures. Frequently, Christians in Iraq are unable to open businesses or build homes because they're forced into certain arrangements with local political parties. Frequently, there have been instances of land seizures where courts will recognize a Syriac's ownership of a plot of land, and someone will come in anyways and say, "This is mine," regardless of what the court says. And so these kind of factors really are preventing people from returning home and prospering in their homeland. So we are urging the State Department to monitor and report to Congress the various factors of this decline.
And, okay, so my question is about security specifically, because you mentioned the ISIS takeover that happened, and then obviously subsequently there has been some improvement in that regard. At least ISIS is not in control so much in the plains of Nineveh. But when it comes to security, would it be fair to say that Christians would be protected if they were to stay in Iraq or return there if they fled in the past?
Listen, it can be very difficult to prescribe the exact security situation on the ground at any given time.
Sure.
You have cases of Iran proxy groups and Turkey launching aerial strikes into the region, and I don't want to paint a picture of like complete peace, but it's certainly much safer than it was within the time that you're referring to with ISIS. And there are plenty. It's certainly plenty of security on a local level to a great extent.
Do you get the sense that Iraqi Christians want to return to their homeland?
That certainly, I think many of them that I've talked to really yearn for that, and those that are there are really seeking to have their basic rights, protected. They don't wish to create a new Kurdistan for Christians. They simply want to remain where they are, whether that be within Kurdistan or Iraq, and to practice their faith and culture and teach their language to their children. There are policies like the Islamification of minors law, which automatically registers the children of a convert to Islam as all Muslim. And the issue with this is that Iraq's confessional electoral system, which gives votes based off the population of each religion, this has a very big effect on how Christians can represent themselves in government.
Absolutely. So many important issues when it comes to the Christian community in Iraq. And the point here is that you don't want them to just survive, you want them to thrive.
Precisely. We would like them to thrive. A big way that the United States and other countries have helped these people in the past has been giving them visas, and that is great. In times of violence, refuge in a safe country, it was incredibly valuable to these people. But at the same time, they also need to have a way to come home.
Yeah, absolutely. And In Defense of Christians has been working on this initiative to help make that a possibility. Go to indefenseofchristians.org. It's linked at sunrisemorningshow.com. We've been talking to William Roberts. William, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.